Welcome back. In today's video, let's predict the latest plot of 3 Huge News Coronation Street. EastEnders spoilers. Full episode 6735. Sharon Watts rescues Lisa Fowler, airs on Wednesday the 19th of July 2023. Sharon Watts tries to keep Lisa Fowler on side in Wednesday's episode of EastEnders. Sharon Watts feels terrible for Lisa Fowler, despite the lies she's been spinning to Keanu Taylor and Phil Mitchell. When she finds her in a bad situation, she takes pity on her and offers to help her out. Sharon's fiancé Keanu, father to Lisa's granddaughter Peggy Taylor, can't believe that Sharon would have any dealings with Lisa after the recent shock revelations. After seeing messages on Lisa's phone from gambling sites, Sharon later spots her coming out of the bookies. Taking Lisa to one side, she confronts her about her gambling addiction. When Lisa opens up to Sharon, she vows to sort things and approaches Phil, begging him to give Lisa a chance. Keanu is still stewing about Lisa lies and he's determined to get proper access to his daughter. When Lisa makes a concession and offers him regular video calls, will it be enough to placate him? 2. Coronation Street airs violent climax to Toya Battersby hostage crisis. A gunshot seals one person's fate. Coronation Street has aired a violent climax to Toya Battersby's hostage crisis. Toya was taken hostage last week by a woman pretending to be Spider's wife. In reality, this woman, Maggie, was connected to a drugs case Spider worked on in the past. Monday's episode revolved around Spider scrambling to find Toya before it was too late, while also convincing Leanne Battersby not to get the police involved. Spider eventually explained that Maggie has held a grudge against him because her husband ended up dead as part of one of his drug investigations. He eventually received a text message from Maggie ordering him to follow her instructions to a meeting place, or she'd killed Toya. While Spider headed off for the rendezvous point, Leanne was panicked over the situation. She admitted to Nick she was furious over Spider refusing to involve the police. At the meeting place, Spider spotted Maggie with a gun and soon was forced to kneel at Toya's side. Spider made one last play to get Maggie to back down by insisting that he didn't love Toya, so killing her would be useless. "Your husband was a scumbag heroin dealer. He ruined people's lives, children's lives," Spider then went on to tell her. Spider lunged at Maggie and urged Toya to run, but as she took off, Toya heard a gunshot in the background. She turned around to the horrifying sight of Spider on the ground. Toya decided it was now or never, so she bolted. Viewers then saw Maggie aiming her gun, but as the camera switched back to Toya running away, another shot rang out. This time, Toya turned to see Spider standing over the fallen Maggie. Police finally arrived on the scene soon after this, with Spider's superior DS Swain tearing a strip off him for not calling for backup sooner. Back in Weatherfield, Leanne was relieved to hear Toya was safe, but still irate that Spider had put her life in danger in the first place. In the aftermath of the shooting, Toya begged Spider to give up his undercover work, but when he hesitated, she ended their relationship, saying she needed to be with someone who put her first. Is it really over for Toya and Spider? 3. Coronation Street to explore issue of assisted dying in Paul Foreman storyline. Paul speaks to Billy about his wishes. Coronation Street airs emotional scenes for Paul Foreman and Billy Mayhew next week as the show begins to explore the issue of assisted dying. Paul shocks Billy by revealing that he'd like help to end his life at a later date, after his motor neurone disease has developed. The scenes air in next Monday's episode, July 24th, after Paul attends an appointment at the MND clinic. While there, Paul talks to Shelley, who he recognizes from his MND support group. Paul is impressed by Shelley's positive attitude and listens to her advice. Shelley encourages Paul to take control and suggests that, if there's something he has always wanted to do, he should do it now. Back at home, Paul tells Billy that Shelley has helped him to see things more clearly and he has something important to ask him. Billy excitedly expects a marriage proposal and speaks to Summer Spellman about how a wedding could be on the cards. Paul's real reason for the important conversation becomes clear when he tells Billy that, when the time comes, he'd like him to help him end his life. How will Billy react? Daniel Brocklebank, who plays Billy, revealed, Billy is absolutely horrified. Because it not only goes against his own personal moral stance, but also his role as an archdeacon is very much about celebrating the life they've got left rather than terminating it. He wants them to have more time together, not less. So he's absolutely horrified that Paul is even considering it. Daniel continued, Billy is very fixated on the fact that Paul isn't christened and now he wants to end his life, so he is worried that he may not go to heaven and they won't see each other in the afterlife. If you compare it to the end-of-life conversations he had with Sinead, when he visited her deathbed, he was talking about the afterlife. That was beautifully written. Sinead said, I'm scared that there could be nothing. Billy said, but there's a peace in nothing. We'll get eternal life, we get the rest. So his view on things is very different. I think there's a lot of reasons, both personally, professionally and spiritually, why Billy is against the assisted dying thing.
Xin chào các bạn đã quay trở lại UK Soát Spoiler. Vừa rồi các bạn đã theo dõi một sản phẩm của chúng tôi, UK Soát Spoiler, một kênh tin tức chuyên cung cấp cho các bạn những thông tin mới nhất về những bộ phim xà phòng của Vương quốc Anh như Eastenders, Narrated, Courtney và Hollywood. Các bạn hãy để lại bình luận bên dưới về những thông tin chúng tôi đã nêu trong video. Hãy like và subscribe để ủng hộ kênh. Xin chào và hẹn gặp lại các bạn video tiếp theo.